Nerds, there's a shadow hanging over the gaming world. A shadow that promises to give us everything we've ever wanted. We just have to be patient. It lays out development roadmaps filled with the most beautiful versions of splendorous worlds, rife with content and features that would make even the most jaded of curmudgeonly gamers' eyes sparkle with excitement. And we believe the shadow. Hell, why wouldn't we? The Kickstarter funded in 45 seconds with 4,000% of the goal. It's a dream come true. And then, from the darkness, we find ourselves waist deep in a pile of bones of a game, scrambling to save our wallet from that full price point black hole it's being sucked down into. But some of them are okay, right? Tonight, we're talking about early access. Welcome to episode 38 of The Hills Have Nerds, the only podcast where we pre-order unfinished games and then act surprised when they're unfinished. I'm one of your hosts, Josh, and we got the whole cavalcade of nerdistry with us tonight. We got all the boys in the hills. We got Travis.
Hi.
We got Cody.
Hello.
We got Pixel Bro Lee.
Hi.
And we got Aaron, too, I guess.
Oh.
Boys, how's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Very, very tired, but, we're here.
It's warm.
When?
It got warm
What
really
does it take?
fast outside.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it is.
And
There was no in between. It
No.
was like 20 degrees and then 70 degrees.
Yeah.
It was 87 or something. It was 30 the night before and then 87, and it was just like rained 87 the rest of the way through.
It snowed last week, and now it's like rain and tornado season.
Yeah.
Kentucky weather. What can we say?
I think everywhere does that. Everywhere's like, if you don't like the weather, just wait a minute,
Yeah.
that thing. But it has genuinely been crazy. I don't know. Maybe something's happening because of that. We'll figure it out. I'm sure some scientist somewhere will figure it out and everyone will listen to them. But we're not talking about that. Today, we're talking about early access games, right? Early access culture and the release of unfinished games and paying to beta test, paying to alpha test, all of that. And what is that? What does that mean? What are early access games?
It was a good idea that's being used for awful things.
Okay. That's Aaron's take. Anybody else?
The idea essentially being that there's this game that is playable. We wouldn't say it's complete, but it's playable. And the developer is wanting to put it out to a community. As you were just saying, it's essentially like a live beta testing so that players can get in, play what is there, give their feedback as to what they like, what they dislike, and the developer can hopefully take that feedback and seek to improve as they continue development to try and deliver a full game. The keyword being try.
Some don't even try.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else anything about early access unfinished games? What does that mean to them?
So is there like I've kind of thought of it like, it's not alpha really, is it? Because alpha would be earlier than that probably, or does it even matter?
It's supposed to be.
I don't think it really matters to me.
No, I don't think the development point matters. They're
Maybe.
usually pretty close to finished when they start popping out like that. Usually.
Yeah.
But
I think
I'm never
go ahead.
deterred by it. Like I'm just like, it says it's in early access. I'm like, at that point, we kind of talked offline for a second there. Yeah, like everything seems like it comes out in early access. So I'm like, if it looks good,
Lot of it
I'll
anymore,
try it out and I'll report bugs, whatever.
there are different levels. I think we'll get into it as we go through the night and go through the
Okay.
discussion. But to me, there are different levels of whether something is worth it in early access. Like there have been horror stories, and we'll cover some of those. And there have been success stories, like significant, wonderful success stories. One of the biggest games ever is an early access success story, which, again, we'll talk about shortly. But I think there are varying levels to what early access is. And I think, to me, the simplest way to put it is just, this is not our envisioned finish point of this game, but we want to get it in people's hands, so we're releasing it in whatever state it's in. But we're letting you know this is not our idealized finish point, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it may be a way for them to offset some of the costs of development as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's what it is too,
Yeah.
right? Is you're to me, it's kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're releasing a game in an unfinished state, trying to get money to finish the game, to then get your full one out, but you've already tapped into a large market there. Like I don't know. It's there's weird nuance to this.
And it's less playtesters they have to pay.
Yeah.
Because you're paying to playtest the game.
Yeah, and now sometimes games not all early access games have a price point, right? Some release in early access with playable demos, or free to play for early access, and then we'll have a release or do beta weekends. Excuse me, stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Like I feel weird about it as a nerd and as a consumer. Lee, you said it doesn't really deter you if they say this is early access, you know.
Yeah. I just don't even think about it. I'm like, sure, because I think it maybe Minecraft kind of turned me off of that, like the concern for it. And that's a weird one, but that was a long time ago. It was like Minecraft was, I played, I don't know, alpha, beta, something. I played one of the early builds, and then it was like when it released, I was like, I've been playing that game for years at this point, so it's like it's still good. Yeah.
Well, Minecraft,
Minecraft was like the grandfather of it. I think there was one that was considered before it, but Minecraft was the biggest one.
There's several that were before Minecraft, but like
it's pretty good. I mean, it is kind of a red flag though. Still, like it's kind of like, hey, warning. I worry about. I think it is. I don't know. I'm stumbling around a lot, but it could be nefarious, Josh, and because I've been thinking a little more about it, thinking about what you guys have been saying about it. It might be that, like, what's to stop somebody? And maybe I don't know enough. But what's to stop somebody from just being like, check out my early access game. It blows up, friend slop sort of stuff, and then you go, got my money, and you peace out, man.
I mean, it's not what's to stop somebody. That has happened several.
Yeah,
it's happened a few times,
100 times, probably several thousand times.
So people just like leave after.
What was that?
Oh yeah.
What was that massive one just recently that everybody was talking about? It was supposed to be like an MMO kind of.
Oh, that one never. I don't think that. Oh, it had to release. That was Ashes of Creation. Ashes of Creation. That, to me, might be a little different because when it finally released, to me, I think that one released so he didn't have to pay back the Kickstarters. Now this is speculation. I don't know this. I am wildly and dangerously speculating as a podcaster on the internet, people. But I know there was a clause in the Kickstarter for Ashes of Creation, which was an MMO by a gentleman whose name escapes me right now, but it's essentially his, and I'm gonna tell stories out of school because I don't remember every single little thing. But by all means, let me know in the comments. Send us an email. You'll find out what our email address is by going to the description below. Let me know. Essentially, this guy was claiming he funded it with his own money. Wasn't beholden to shareholders. It was this it was such a huge scale MMO. It was like real time, like player death, lootable PvP, or lootable player versus player. So, if I killed you, I could loot you and take your stuff. Massive sprawling worlds, like, next gen graphics, stuff like that. And he just apparently lied about a lot of things. And then they had told their Kickstarters, hey, if this doesn't release, we're giving you back every single bit of your money. We're going to give you back all of your money if this doesn't release. Well, they pushed out essentially a playable alpha onto Steam for purchase, and then about 2 weeks later shut the game down. So that they, I mean, I don't know this for certain, but to the layman who's just watching from the outside, that looks like they did that so they could say the game released. We put it on Steam. There you go. Because it never specified a release candidate. It never specified a 1.0. Just said if this game releases, if we put this on out for the public, and they did. And
People
so
would
that,
never lie to me on the internet.
Yeah,
so
why
like,
would
I trust them.
why would someone lie to you
Yeah,
on the
right.
internet? But that was the thing, and essentially this guy lied about being beholden to shareholders, lied about using his own money, and not necessarily like lied, but like spun the truth in a way that it just might as well be a lie.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some more nuance to it, and he didn't have a good reputation in the MMO world anyway. But it's not been a great look for anyone involved, right? But that was it. That was Ashes of Creation. That was, they got pushed out as early access, and then they immediately shut everything down, fired everybody, and now the game's dead. Like, and I think that's the danger of early access, right? Is
Yeah, that's the horror stories there.
But that's, I mean, Kickstarter. If you're Kickstartering something, I mean, look at Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. Now we're kind of going down that MMO path here, but Pantheon was billed as a spiritual successor to EverQuest. It was, you know, Brad McQuaid, right, Lee? That's his name.
Yep.
Yeah, Brad McQuaid's like spiritual successor to EverQuest. I followed development of Pantheon for 10 years, like legit.
I wanted it.
And it wasn't playable at any point during any of that. I just was following the development, and it got stuck in development hell. And then Brad McQuaid died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then one of his lead designers or lead developers kind of took over and kind of spearheaded everything, and Pantheon released to early access, and it was a mess. And they pivoted, like they promised the world, you know, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, it's going to look this way, and then they completely changed, completely swapped after people had already donated. You know, people had donated, they were doing crowdfunding for that, saying we're going to give you this. People give them money, and then they completely about face and change the entire look of the game. It still runs essentially the same, and the playable bit of Pantheon is, I think, pretty good and reasonable for what they're offering, reasonable for what they're charging for early access. But it's not what the original game promised, and I think that's the problem to me with early access culture, or the danger of it.
Straying away from what was originally promised. Yeah.
Yeah. If I pay $20 for a game and you tell me this is a game where you're going to be like, take Repo, for example. I think Repo's in early access. I paid,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we paid $6 for Repo, and it's a game about getting together with your buddies and, I don't know, stealing toy cars from blind dudes in their house that try to shoot you. Right?
Yeah, it's
That's
just
exactly
a looter.
it.
Yeah, if you don't know what Repo is,
Horror-
that is
survival
exactly
horror
what
looter.
it is. You're
Yeah.
stealing old cripples' things. That's the Repo.
No other
There's
explanation.
no other
There's
explanation.
nothing else in the game.
But it's like, if, you know, I bought it because it looked a certain way and I liked the way it looked, and it's on Steam and it's saying, hey, here, buy this and you can play it. We're in early access though, so some things are subject to change. And then all of a sudden I log into Repo one day and it's a dating sim where I'm a young otaku trying to find my waifu. And it's like, well, that's completely different. This is not the same thing. Now that's an extreme example, but
Yeah. Most of the time, it's usually promised things and then never delivering on them.
yeah.
Or they couldn't make the promise, so they offer something that's like halfway or nowhere near as good as what they had originally. They come out, it's like, that was a little too ambitious. We didn't get enough money, or don't have enough time, whatever.
So can you guys think
Isn't
of
like Peter Molyneux or Molyneux? has
Molyneux, yeah, or God, I love Black and White and Black and White too, and that's the Fable guy. For anybody that doesn't know Peter Molyneux, that was the guy that did the AI behind Black and White 2, Lionshead Studios, right? Was it Lionshead?
Mhm.
Did
Yeah,
Fable,
Lionshead.
Fable 2, Fable 3. I don't know if he's doing the Fable 4. I don't know where he's at now. I think he's in Microsoft doing some kind of AI stuff. And then The Cube right? He did the cube, that clicking thing where he told people if you what was it, Lee? Where if you he's like the first person to click to the end of this gets their name or gets what was it? Gets put in my next game. And some guy did it and they just never released the next game.
Wow.
I'd have to look
Rude.
it up exactly. It's a whole big thing.
Oh, very would.
But what were you saying about Molly?
I just he is kind of known for that. He's notorious for promising the world and then being like, "Oh, here's what you're getting."
Yeah.
And I actually like what I get most of the time from, or I have liked it. It's just I've also learned to curb my expectations of what he's selling. It's like promise the world, and when I get something, I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like this will work, but it's like it's not what you promised, dude.
I just think this is weird, like gray area of consumerism.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a bad thing because I want to play a game like this. Insert whatever early access game we're looking at. I would like to play a game like this. So by buying it, I am contributing to its development. But there's also that weird kind of contract that you're buying into when you do an early access game of this may end up not being what I've bought into. And then there's part of me that's like, well, that's what you get when you buy into an early access. And then the other part of me is like, yeah, but that's not the promise that I signed up for. I didn't hop on this train because you told me you're going to feed me Brussels sprouts where we, at the end of it, you told me you're going to shove me full of candy. And I got on the train and now you're giving me asparagus, you piece of trash.
I like asparagus.
I had asparagus today. It was really nice, but I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Also, look at all of us. We probably don't eat enough asparagus. So we talked about the biggest early access game, and that is probably Minecraft, right? Minecraft released in early access in what? It didn't release on Steam early access though, right?
No, I
remember playing in 2010, so I don't know how early it released.
I don't remember when I played it, but I picked up a version that.
Yeah, 2009.
I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, alpha version proved popular enough that within the month of release, Person added a means by which players could pay around $15 to access the game, allowing him to continue its development. As sales of the games increases by Marcus Persson. That's Notch, right?
Notch.
Yeah. No, I didn't know he was Swedish. Allowing him to continue its development.
$10.
Yeah.
I paid $10 for the game. I remember.
As sales of the games increased, he was able to quit his job and about 8 months later to work on the game full-time, founding Mojang to bring a larger development team. Minecraft continued to offer early access throughout its development period, assuring those that bought into it would receive the final version for free, which happened in November 2011. So 2 years after you could buy into it, they got the final version for free. Prior to this, nearly 2 million players had purchased into the alpha. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
I just remember Minecraft being one of those games where it was like, I heard about it. I heard everybody was like, "Oh my god, this new game called Minecraft." It's the thing. And then I started working at GameStop in 2012, and by the time that I left GameStop in 2015, that game was already on console.
Yeah, I remember when it came out for like I remember I was in college at the time, and my cousin was like, "Hey, we're playing it. Check out this game. It's called Minecraft. We're gonna play it tonight. You want to play? It's like $10, $15, whatever it was at the time." And I said, "Yeah, sure." So I got it, and then 8 hours later, looked up from my computer and like lights piercing through the window, and I've been living in holes underground, dug, and we're trying to figure out the best way to farm mushrooms in a cave, and it was good. Dude, Minecraft's great. I have some amazing times playing with my kid in Minecraft. My daughter still plays. My son still plays. It is one of the largest, most successful games of all time, and it was early access, and it is a success story. And I think we have all of the early access horror stories. We can thank Minecraft for its success.
Well, actually, Minecraft is the best-selling game of all time.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, by a lot.
I mean,
Yeah,
I have
ridiculously.
I have no doubt about it.
About 350 million copies sold as of early 2026.
Jeez.
I think the thing that gets me about early access stuff is whenever I think of early access, I usually kind of pin it in this indie developer realm, right?
Yeah.
Where it's independent developers who are like, I've got this in a playable state. You all are welcome if you want to help the development, if you want to support the project, you can buy into it, play the game, blah blah blah, and do all this other kind of stuff. But like even bigger companies are also starting to adopt into the early access. I
Yeah.
can't remember
Yeah.
who I can't remember who developed it. Let me look up who made this game right fast.
I mean, if you look at the day one patches of everything, it's like 40 gigs to be able to fix your game.
Yeah.
on
So
day
what
one.
is
Yeah,
a day one? I want
um,
to talk about that real quick, Trav. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but day one patch. What is a day one patch? That is a huge marker here in this world.
essentially it's the disc that you, if you're playing it by disc, I should say, you plop the disc in and then it's immediately got an update file. It's because they have printed the version 1.0 to that disc, and the day one patch is there to fix all the issues
problems.
that they just didn't, they either A, didn't have time to do, or B, they're just like, well, we'll ship the disc out with 1.0 and then we'll give everybody what's essentially the 1.1 patch on release, which is like, if you have this available, just put that on the disc before we ship.
Yeah.
Unless you're Ubisoft from 10 years ago, and then your
Yeah.
day one patch makes the game function. Assassin's
know-
Creed Unity.
I was about to say,
Bethesda's not much better.
Assassin's Creed Unity,
They're doing great
just,
now.
just now got a 60 frames update.
Really?
Within the past year, that game came out on PS4, right? And it's just now got to the point where it can run in 60 frames a second on console.
What game was this? I'm sorry, I thought.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Unity.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I bought
Me-
Unity for like $2.
That was still too much.
And
I,
well,
got
what I
excited. I thought you were gonna say like Blood, whatever that was. That Blood game.
Bloodborne?
That-
No, it
Yeah,
still
I
runs
was
at
like-
30. It still
Yeah,
runs
it's
at
still
30.
30.
So do we consider day one patches to be like games with the day one patch to be early access releases? Is that the same thing or is that comparable? I mean,
I don't know if I don't think it's the same thing, because I mean most early access is they're saying this is an unfinished game. Day one patches is like, here's the full game, and then they're sneaking you more parts in as you're purchasing. But
No.
like early access, usually they come out and say, hey, this isn't a finished game.
Also, early
think
access
that's the
tends to just be digital only. You don't typically see an early access physical
That's
thing.
true.
If it's gone to print in that regard, then by all means it should be considered a finished product. But
Should.
Should is the big key word there.
Yeah.
listen, and I know it's the fun thing to rip on the game, but I pre-ordered Cyberpunk.
Oh,
I remember that game on day one.
Mhm.
Like
Oh.
that
Oh,
game
yeah.
was by all definition what I would have considered an early access game, because it
Honestly,
just like
honestly,
early
probably should have
access-
brought up CD Projekt Red in general for early access physical copies, because The
Because-
Witcher 3 was horribly broken
Oh,
when it
yeah.
released.
What I was going to mention earlier to get this point out was I don't know if you guys have heard of a game called Grounded that came out a little while
that's
ago.
the one where you're
Yeah.
little people or something.
It's like
Yeah,
Honey,
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when that game was available for early access, and that was made by Obsidian Entertainment.
Oh.
And like that's Obsidian Entertainment is like the stick of
Big.
truth,
Mm.
and
it's a
freaking
bigger company.
Coder 2.
Okay.
This is not this relatively unknown company. Like, this is a big company, and that game was available in early access now, and it's a game that to this day I still think is really neat. It's not really a solo playing game, it's survival.
Yeah.
But like that was a game that was in early access. So it's just kind of one of those things where it's like what determines early access now? Just that it's a beta? Why don't we just say that it's a beta? Why don't we just say that it's a beta that you can buy into? I don't know.
People don't like that.
That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, though. It's a beta. It's an unfinished game that you can purchase in hopes that it is finished.
Yeah.
In promise that it's going to be finished, but in reality, it has become. I hope this is going to get finished.
So what is the difference between, like, is there now a discernible difference between a beta test versus a early access release?
A beta test.
I've
is
never
timed
paid
out.
for a beta test, and
that too.
yeah, it's typically timed.
Now, I've seen
Or
paid
it-
betas before. I've seen things where they're like, hey, donate to the game and you'll get access to beta. To me, that is no different. It's not functionally different than me giving
No.
them $10 to pay for the beta. Right? Now,
Oh, yeah.
Functionally, no, not
they
really.
are not, right? They're not selling the beta. They're
Yeah,
saying if
yeah.
you donate to us, we're going to let you in at this price point. But functionally, it is no different than paying for a beta.
In some regards, I would say that if you're pre-ordering a game and part of it is like being able to get into a beta, that beta is typically a network test. They are just trying to flood the servers so that they know what to do in terms of like upgrading the servers to handle traffic and things like that. However, that's not always the case. And it does it is kind of getting to that point of like where is the line, because it's so warped around the line that you don't really know where to draw it. If that makes any sense.
No. So anybody got anything else to add about any of this before we kind of, I want to talk about like what the first early access game ever was. So we talked about Minecraft and all that, but I want to go a little bit further back. But anybody have anything else to add? And we can go off and veer. It's
Yeah.
all the same topic, right?
No, we never veer off topic.
Well, I mean, we're on topic. We've been on topic the whole show so far.
I do
We
have
have-
a
Surprise-
game that I want to bring up. We don't have to talk about it now, but just so that
Mhm.
it's on people's minds. We're sitting here talking about early access games, and no one's brought up Yandere Simulator yet.
But what?
There's
What?
probably a good reason for that.
Really?
What is
No,
Yandere?
okay.
What is Yandere again?
Yandere is referring to a character, usually a female, who is completely obsessed with the main character, typically a male, and will go to any length to be with them. By which I mean, if another girl gets in her way, she will just murk her, just in broad daylight.
Okay.
Like she's ready to kill. But there's been this game that has literally been in development since I was in high school. So we're talking like the 2010s.
Yeah.
And this game is still not done. And to this point, I don't think it's ever going to be done. Many other things, because the developer is a piece of garbage. Yeah, you want to talk about like an early access game. This dude's literally been taking donations for this game since the early 2010s. And I don't even know that game is even like, I don't know that game is in a 0.5 version state. And it's been nearly 2 decades.
Wow.
Dang.
It began development
Nice.
in 2014, apparently.
And it still hasn't had like its 1.0 full really, well, like Phasmophobia, which Phasmophobia has been out for years, but it's still early access. Like that to me is crazy. That's the problem with the early access culture to me, is they release these games, say it's early access, it's not ready yet, and then it just stays in that ad infinitum.
Yeah,
So-
Phasmophobia has been in early access since 2020.
Yeah, so 6 years. Rust is another game. I'm pretty sure Rust never got a full, like, official release.
Well, I mean, Ark never got
Yeah.
an actual official release, and they're releasing Ark 2.
Well, Ark never got an official release, and you could buy it on you could buy it on consoles. Like, you
Yeah,
could buy a
it's-
physical
it's-
copy of it on consoles. So
that's what I
there's your
was getting ready
physical
to
early
say.
access game.
Yeah, like if you go to Steam right now and look up Ark Survival Evolved, Oh no, they actually have the.
Does it? Did it? It
they
might have.
the
I think
early
it
access
actually.
tag moved.
It might have. It might have
Did-
actually
Oh, did
released.
they
Now that we're
finally
sitting
move it
here,
over?
I think
Yeah.
a couple years ago, it may. So when did it fully release? What was it? It might have been the 2010s. We might be. You know what, Ark? We might need to give you an apology.
Now, Survival Ascended
That's
is still
the.
marked as early access.
That's the new. They re-released. They early released Ark. they took the original Ark, updated a couple things, and early released it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
let's see. Did Ark ever fully release? No, I'm not interested in that. Yes, August 29th, 2017. So when it did release, Survival Evolved had an official release out of early access 10 years ago. All right, our bad, Ark. Our bad. But then you put it back into early access. You're like, nah, we got to go back. We got to go back.
They just accidentally hit the button. That's all it was. They're like,
Yeah,
oh,
I had this
no,
exact
no,
same
no.
conversation.
Crap.
Oh, God, we released it.
I
What
didn't
have we
mean.
done?
If you're just talking about early access in general, I mean, Satisfactory came out early access in 2020, and it's out of early access now.
Yeah,
Its
yeah.
full release was in 24.
So,
Yeah, but they actually finished what they were wanting
Yeah,
to do.
They actually continually updated and everything. So
we look at a game like Star Citizen, right? But now it hasn't
Oh.
like done a early access, like a full on early access release, like we're looking at Phasmo and them, right? Like I can't go
Yeah.
play Star Citizen right now just by paying $20, right? I have to like buy in. I get into an alpha, which is a little different.
Star Citizen is just more in development hell. than
Yeah.
Early access.
But it's been in there for like. Well, and is there? I mean, is there a different? I talked about Phasmophobia, or not Phasmophobia, but oh my God, yeah, Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. Talked about Pantheon: Rise of the Fallen. Like, there's a functional difference between development hell and then like early access cash grab, and you see that a lot with those. We play them all the time. The friend slop games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That this is early access, and really it's just this is the first time we hit a playable version of the game, and now we can monetize it. So we're just going to push it out, give us $6, and we might or might not update it. We'll see.
We'll see how
Right.
response goes from the community.
So go ahead.
Star Citizen began development in 2003.
Wow.
nice.
Wow.
I mean, development hell and the early access and like paying to test, they go kind of hand in hand. But if we look at early
I'm
access, so go ahead.
I apologize. Let me correct. Sorry, that was the Freelancer. Plans for Freelancer was in 2003. Star Citizen's led directed by Chris Roberts. The game was announced in 2012. I apologize.
Okay. All right. So I mean, almost 10 years later. Okay. So like the proliferation of early access, like when it became part of nerd culture, and it's been a part of our vernacular for a long time now. But it was with Steam's early access program, which was spurred on by the success of Minecraft. Like Steam's early access program, which is proprietary trademark or whatever the hell it is.
Green light.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they call it?
Yeah.
Steam Greenlight, yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know? Here's again. So it started in 2013. Steam's early access started in 2013. Do you know what percentage of games when Steam's early access started? What percentage of those initial early access titles, the initial wave, are still there or abandoned?
73.6%.
I'm gonna guess 40%.
I was going to say
Dang.
about 60 was my.
All right.
I was gonna say about 40%.
Are
40.
are done, or what are what's your 40% of
Still
what
in early.
are still okay?
I'm I was saying 60% is either still in early or abandoned.
Okay.
Same. 40
So-
for me.
There is a massive amount of research undertaken by a bunch of nerds over at the True Gaming Reddit, and this is just crazy interesting to me, and I'm going to link this in the show notes. Go check out these stats that these people put together. It is a massive, like, video game history project. Like, this is on the level of, like, Smithsonian researchers digging into ancient history. Like, it is really, really cool.
A
what they've done.
library of Alexandria.
Yeah, maybe not that level. get wrecked, Alexander.
Well, he did. It got
So-
burnt down.
38%. So they looked at there were 37 yeah, 37 games started in Steam's early access during the inaugural year in 2013. This is put together by user 6foot Turkey 64. 38%, so 14 of the 37 as of 8 years ago. So this is as of what was how long was 8 years ago? 2018. This is as of 2018. 38% have left early access in a polished, finished state.
Okay.
Or not.
Oh.
So 38% of them have left early access, either polished and finished or not, but they have left early access. Of those, 75% of the games to enter early access on the first day possible, which was March 20th of 2013, have had a proper release. 24% of the games to enter the early access in the remainder of 2013 have since had a proper release. 22% were abandoned or otherwise had their development postponed indefinitely. This is 8 out of 37 games. 40%, 15 out of 37 games, are still in early access with or without release in sight. Now, that was, this says 8 years ago, but this update was more recent than that. So yeah, the oldest game that was still unfinished was in early access for almost 5 years as the time of this. That's not early access. That's your game.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
your game.
that-
Yeah.
Wow.
This it's insane. Like how the balls on somebody to say this is early access, and it's been out for 6 or 7 years, and you're continuing to pump stuff up. Like Pal World, I love Pal World. I am a Pocket Pair apologist. I defend them all the time. But you're pushing it now. Like, we're still in early access for this game. We're 2 years into it. Like, it's time to shit or get off the pot. And we're supposed to get a 1.0 this year, like a full release. They're releasing a TCG for Pal World, and their game's still in early access. Like, they have plushes, and it's crazy.
The TCG is also going to be in early access.
Oh,
yeah, they're going to add text to some
You
of the
buy
cards
a
later
pack
on.
of cards, and then the next
Yeah.
pack you buy will have the exact same card in it, but different text on it.
Yeah.
That's-
We're gonna send you
Errata
stickers.
cards.
Yeah, we're going to send you errata. Dude, there has
Just
to be a
stickers
board
put
game
on
that's done that. There's got to be.
Errata
board-
cards? Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually own one that's done that.
Yeah, the Stardew Valley board game did
Uh,
that, right?
Maybe
I think yes.
Shadowrun Crossfire did that. There was 4 obstacles in it that I don't remember what they did, but they pulled them back because they were ridiculous. They rotted them down.
The
I mean,
That or
Digimon
they didn't
TCG
function properly. And I can't remember what it was.
The Digimon TCG did that. There was a series of cards that this is what got me. This is what was so funny about that. They got errated before they ever released, but they had already printed the non-errated card. So when you went to buy the deck, because it was a starter deck, when you went to buy the deck, it just had a special little pack that was just taped onto the front of it that had the new errated cards. And I'm like, you could have delayed the product by a couple of days. You
Nope.
know, if like. Also, why were you already errata-ing a card that hadn't even been printed yet?
They realized they messed up.
I
So
guess.
when some of those mechanisms get rolling, it's hard to keep them back, right?
Yeah.
A game that that I thought had released in early access but didn't, Stardew Valley. Just mentioned the board game of it. Stardew Valley was never early access. It was fully when
Nope.
it came out. It was fully released. What's his name?
I've
Something Ape.
Concerned Ape.
Concerned
Concerned
Ape,
Ape.
like specifically did not do the Steam early access thing for you. He felt like it was going to be, and a game that continues to see updates. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Apparently working on it rather than, his new game.
Well, I mean, a large portion of the world really loves Stardew Valley. A lot of people
Hey,
in my household.
I like
So-
Stardew Valley, but yeah.
You know a game franchise that got its start through Steam's Greenlight feature?
What?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good success story.
Yeah. A massive game in early access just released last week.
What?
Last week, honestly, it wasn't even that. It was 4 days ago. The Slay the Spire 2.
Oh yeah.
It's
So-
in early access.
I mean, and I think early access is this kind of nebulous thing, right? Like, we've hit on that a couple times. Of early access can mean a bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
It can mean we're giving you
Yeah.
a very bare bones. It means we're giving you an almost completed. Cody's house exploded, or the cat knocked his thing down.
Yeah, cat got my camera. I'll be back.
See, early access itself is not a bad thing. It's not that early access is bad. It's how some of the independent developers and big companies are treating early access. That's
how
bad.
they abuse the system.
Yeah.
Lee, you've been quiet for a little bit. Were you got any input on any?
I was making, I got a point I'd like to make about it. It's I was writing it down here. Do you think maybe developers? I could.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Bubs? Lee hadn't spoken in
Okay.
30 minutes and finally decided to speak. And Cody is about to give us firsthand experience of his latest colonoscopy.
Do you think developers expect the public to be like more kind, or kind? I guess kinder is the word about feedback on a game if we label it like early access? Like, hey, this is unfinished. What do you guys think?
I think
maybe
they
it
just
becomes a
expect them
point
to
of, like-
be more stupid, and
I was
that's
gonna
not
say,
me
or
even
just-
like.
Once it's out, do they expect it? Like, if they were to go, I don't know what's the reward for taking it out of early access.
You got the money
mean-
already. Like, you got some of
Yeah,
these
right.
early access games release at regular, their full price point. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like if I were a developer, put myself in those shoes. It's like I've sold a ton of games. My game's in early access for like, I don't know, 3 years. It's like if somebody was like, "Well, this part is really dumb," I could be like, "It's early access. You're buying in."
Yeah.
But if I,
I
were
mean-
to release it, it'd be like, "This is a complete game. You did this for 3 or 4 years, and it's still got problems."
But-
do we
most games
oh.
release in early access at full price. Because Slay the Spire did. I think Satisfactory did. It was $40 for the or I think the whole run.
but
I
what
think GTFO was like that.
what is the alternative though? Like, what incentive do these companies have? Because early access culture has been pretty widely accepted by we nerds. Of they're claiming, and I think it is a safer. If I was releasing a game, if I was going to release a game, and I saw I had the option to call something my 1.0, or to say, hey, this is an early access version of this game. We reserve the right to change. We reserve the right to do this because that was accepted from an earlier state, or because that is the way the industry's moving. Why would I not? Even if it was my 1.0, why would I not just call that this is early access and release it? And there was a discussion on releasing early access games at lowered price points versus what their standard ones. So if you had a game that was going to come out at $50 for its full release, and I released a beta version of it, or what I would deem a beta version of it, as early access, Steam would require me, or whatever platform I released it on would require me to, dictate what my final price was going to be, and then release it at a an appropriate fraction of that final price,
Mhm.
whether I did it alpha or beta or that. And I mean, in that case, what stops people from just saying, well, this is 1.0 full price. There you go. And this is our roadmap.
It's actually
Like-
kind of a neat idea, man. Like if they would,
I-
like if you release early access, you should have to release cheaper, and then
Yeah.
event that would motivate developers to be like, it's finished. Give me more money.
I think
You
some,
know?
Yeah.
I think some do that. So we look at the whatchamacallit, what game is it just came out that was kind of like Mythic Plus and WoW Fellowship. Fellowship, I believe, is still in early access. It is a dungeon running game. You get 5 people together, you go run a dungeon. It is literally Mythic Plus from WoW in a solo game, but it's like a hero version. You don't have a singular character, you have a hero you're picking.
That actually sounds kind of
And it is a phenomenally fun
Cool.
game. I love it. I think it's great. It had tons of open beta weekends. It never like had a buy-in, play it all the time thing. So like an early access or a like prior to releasing on Steam, but it is now in its early access release, and it's $20, which
25.
is it 20? It was 20 at first. So when they first
It's 20.
released, it was 20. Now it's 25. And I think they're looking at a higher point for their final release is going to cost more than that.
25, and it has 3 DLCs already.
Yeah.
It's like
But they're not.
Phasmophobia
all-
was
Are they
what, $13?
DLCs?
It's supporter packs, is what they're called.
Yeah.
That's slightly different.
I guess it's like Phasmophobia was $13 when it released. It's 20 now.
Yeah. So I mean, I think they do that. The good guy developers do, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the bad actors that you're paying full price for a beta test, which is an issue.
I believe that's the idea is that you get the game cheaper, but it's not complete, so that you can fund the game,
Yeah.
so that they could keep developing the game to a full game, and then once it releases full, then they should be able to charge the full price that they're looking for. That's that's the ideal.
You know, a company that I don't think did that. Maybe they did, and I just don't remember its initial price. Because Baldur's Gate 3 was actually available on early access years before it was ever released. And I remember
Yeah.
I bought its early access because like when the game officially came out, I owned it because I owned that early access.
Really, I didn't know Baldur's Gate had early access.
Mm.
to it.
Yeah, it was
Baldur's Gate
available
3.
on early access long before they ever announced. I don't know if it was that it had been announced and it was just announced as a PC title, or if it was I don't remember. It's been so long ago now.
Okay. Well, I lied
believe-
about Satisfactory. Sorry.
What's up with
It's-
Satisfactory?
It released at originally at $30, and then their early access they offered it for $15, and it's $40 for the full release.
Well, I mean, do we think that's fair? Does that sound fair to us? What was the early access like?
The early access I didn't get in until update 5, but I mean it was pretty well finished at that point. I mean, some of the alien technology wasn't usable, but
The
And I mean,
story and
there was a couple things that was a little wonky, but overall, I mean, the game functioned completely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was completely playable at update 5. I didn't get 1 through 4.
If you guys had it your way, if you could say, hey, we keep it the way it is, or developers have to release at least what they call a finished game, what would you choose?
I think I would like to see it with the concept of a cheaper version for early access, like a kind of a pay to play. I don't know, sorry, it's
Yeah.
all pay to play,
Pay to
but
test.
just try it out, sort of stuff. And then you
Yeah.
know, I think I would be okay, a little more okay with risking that money to be like, you know, oh, if this game's going to be like $30 on release, but I can play it for 10, maybe get some feedback or whatever, and participate in the grain of this game. That sounds
Well-
pretty awesome. And I just get the full game at release because I bought in early. I'm rewarded for trust and for my money.
Okay, before early access, our option was Kickstarters.
Yeah.
You had like backer programs to start up the game, and that you didn't get to test out. It was, I'm going to fund this game and hope it's good.
Mighty number 9.
Oh God. Yeah.
Here's
like
one.
so-
slightly.
Go ahead, Trev.
I was just gonna say, like, slightly adjacent from that. Like, I did that for a band. I kickstarted both of their last albums that they put out, and it's like, sure, it's slightly different because at least in music you can release singles so that the people that you're trying to get to back the album can hear it and go, okay, yeah, I like the sound or whatever the direction that they're going. But like, that is still a whole thing of like, oh well, I'm gonna put this much into it and hope I get a music CD that I like to listen to. Like, all I have
Yeah.
to go off of are these 1 or 2 singles that get dropped.
I think the Kickstarter culture, and as in a slight way, this early access culture has some people get a little weird entitlement about it. I think if someone tells me, hey, a game's in early access, like this is early access, then I understand this is kind of buyer beware. Right.
Yeah.
I'm buying this with under the notion that this may never release fully. The things that they are promising me there, and I think it's healthy as a consumer to go into it with that mentality.
I agree.
To think that, if I'm going to buy something and they're billing it as early access, there's a chance I don't get anything other than what I'm getting, other than what I'm buying now. You're paying for the promise of a game, kinda, but you're hoping that comes your way. But you got to be okay with the reality of it not coming through. The same thing with Kickstarter. That Kickstarter culture of you are paying to support something you hope comes to fruition. You are not buying a product with
Yep.
Kickstarter. Very similar deal with early access. You are not buying the promise of a product. You are buying into testing a certain release candidate for a product, or not even release candidate, but just version of a product. Right? Does that make sense? I think I mangled that.
Yeah.
But I think
understood.
some people, and I see it online sometimes too, and I've seen it with some of my buddies that have Kickstarted things, and that's why I don't Kickstarter anything, because I want what I pay for. Like, and I'm okay with, and sometimes with Kickstarter, you can get a bunch of extra stuff for really cheap because you're getting in early. So it's a good thing if it releases, if it releases, it's great. But I don't want to take that chance. And I appreciate Kickstarter for what it is, but
I don't. I think we talked about it this weekend, Josh. I don't really Kickstarter a lot of things because it takes so long for me to get the product or item that I'm looking.
You forget about it.
I forget about
it.
Yeah. But I did just Kickstarter a game, and it also had $30 for beta test.
I don't Kickstarter games, but I just Kickstarted. Let me tell you about this game I just Kickstarted.
Yeah, let me tell you about this game I Kickstarted.
It's a good one. If you need to show it to Lee and Cody and Travis, I bet you guys would like it.
I do. Yeah, they
Only
have
me and
extra.
Travis.
Yeah.
Maybe not Travis. Travis probably won't give a crap. It ain't got any kind of
What is it?
anime girl he can swoon.
What's that supposed
Business
to mean?
I'm saying Discord tells me what you play.
Okay,
That's all I'm
and
saying. I'm just saying.
Been playing through Dragon's Dogma recently. There ain't no
Yeah.
anime girls in that.
Yes, there is.
There is after you get them mods in it.
I'm playing it on console.
But
But I was just saying that they also offer beta access within the Kickstarter, but it's going to be next year before I see that game.
yeah, and you
How long
may
did me and
never
Travis wait on Stein Hearts?
Yeah.
Which there was also some real world issues that kind of got in the way of some of that.
So a game, Aaron, that I know you and I played, and I think some of our other friends, Cody, you might have, Travis, you might have, Lee, I don't think you did. But this was a game that I think we got for free through Epic, or it was like $5 when it was at end of life. in its second extinction. This was the game where it was an FPS where you fought dinosaurs. You remember
Dinosaurs.
that? It was so
Yeah.
cool, super fun,
It was,
a blast. Or-
it was actually really cool.
Yeah, developed by Systemic Reaction, like a team FPS objective killer where you fought these mutant dinosaurs. Super fun, big dinosaur boss fights. Was really cool. Released in early access in October 2020. It was planned to remain in early access until October 2022 when it was scheduled to be commercially released. I think a little bit after that was when we actually played it. After there were a bunch of delays, and then they just canceled the release. It just stayed in early access from 2020 until 2023, and then the servers shut down in 2024, and we aren't able to play it anymore. So 2024,
That
a
sucks.
couple months before it shut down was when we got into it. And we knew. Now they said like, hey, or no, I don't even think that they'd announced it was shutting down though. It was early access. We paid what, $5 for it, or got it for free.
I don't think I got in on that one.
We got it for. It was free on Epic.
That's what it was. It was free on Epic, and we didn't pay for it, but it was, you could pay for it for whatever the price point was. And then they shut it down. Never left early access, shut it down. That was all you got. You got that. They promised a bunch of stuff, delivered nothing other than an early access game. And it was fun though. I mean, it was definitely worth the $0 we paid for it.
Yeah.
It was. I enjoyed it actually.
Oh, that's always going to be the thing, right? It's always going to come down to like, what did I put into this, and am I going to get that back out of it? I had a friend who said that he judged a lot of games that he played based on the so basically he was saying, if I get an hour of playtime for every $1 I put into the game, then I got something out of that game. Like, I got everything that I put into that game out of it.
Sure.
If he put $20 into it and he got at least 20 hours of gameplay, all right, cool.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a really fair way of looking at that.
Well, I think we talked about this in our the rising cost of being a nerd episode when we talked about the price of games versus hour of entertainment. And video games, board games, card games, despite them being fairly expensive as an initial investment, are still your highest return on dollar per entertainment hour that you can
Oh
get.
yeah, for
They
sure.
just are.
For sure.
I'm going to spend, as if I go to the movies with my wife, I'm going to spend as much as a AAA video game, if not more. And then that AAA video, I'm going to get a couple hours of enjoyment out of that movie, and the AAA video game I could get, days of playtime over the course of however long.
Yeah.
So, or not even AAA, but just a video game release in general.
I mean, if you're looking at, Resident Evil that just came out, I've put 2 weeks worth into it so far. Not, full
I was going to say, you've put
hour-wise.
14 days of playtime in when did Resident Evil 9 come out? You need to go take a shower.
The 27th.
You got to put your arm down. I can smell it over.
I beat it 3 times so far.
That's why your cat fell over a minute ago.
Hey, her food bowl is full, thank you. I have an auto feeder.
Cody's poor cat's just in the corner, shriveled up.
Do I need to go get her? She's not. She's
That's all you
fully
hold her down.
hydrated.
That's a different
She
cat.
did.
For everybody at home, that's not Luna. That's a different cat. He keeps getting
Fully
new cat.
hydrated cat. I think I heard that song. Wasn't that like a banger of a song a little while back?
Fully hydrated cat.
Fully hydrated.
No, you should be. That sounds amazing.
That's the version. Like, I expect to hear that when I'm driving around at Illinois.
That's
Or
the-
video guy.
That's the Kids
My
Bop
cat is
version.
Fully hydrated
The
cat.
Kids
Thank you. That's the Kids Bop
It's
version.
a kids bop
Didn't they actually do a Kids Bop version of
I-
that song? I swear to God they did.
Did they? There's no way they did a.
Yeah, I don't think
Don't worry.
I don't want to
there's
type. I
no
don't want to
song.
type "Kids Bop Wet Ass Pussy" in my search bar.
I wouldn't, man.
Like
That's
I
how you
just
get on that
don't want to
list.
type that in. Google's
No.
Google's gonna
They
send
did
me
not
somewhere.
officially release one.
Oh,
Well, you
good.
said it
Aaron
out loud,
already had
you're
it
already
saved.
on a list.
Yeah, Aaron already had it saved.
Yeah,
What?
it's in my tabs. It's okay.
Be careful what order you search those things, man. Like, there's a certain combination that's going to end you up. Like, you might end up on a list, or you might be the president. We'll see how- But we're not a political
We're-
podcast.
We're not a political podcast. Anyway, early access games, guys. What were you about to say, Aaron?
So everybody, good night.
There's not an official
Yep, I'm done.
release, but there is a spoof out there for Kids Bop, and
Okay.
it's called Wings and Pizza.
That wings and pizza. Fully hydrated cat, I think, is my best. My
On
new
the
favorite.
tagline,
I like it.
episode's title.
I got that fully hydrated cat.
Ah.
Bring a bucket and a mop for that fully hydrated cat.
Stop.
Okay, let's get back on track. We're about done. There's not a whole lot else to say here. We talked about some of the oldest games in early access. I've been trying to find like the first early access games. I had it pulled up here. Now I can't find it in my tabs.
First,
I know something that can be found in the tabs.
Mountain Blade, released in 2004, is frequently cited as one of the earliest examples.
Yeah, that's Google's
Mountain
AI
Blade.
thing. Maybe is that
Yeah.
real?
I don't know.
Yeah,
What's Mountain Blade?
Yeah, so on GameFAQ, so it's talking about Mountain Blade. What was Mountain Blade? That sounds familiar. What was Mountain Blade?
Yeah. Dudes on horses.
Yeah.
Isn't it
Was
like,
it like a-
chivalry? But on
Yeah.
horses?
Yeah, I think it's like chivalry. No, it's army. It's kind of like shit. Kind of chivalry, but what's the? Oh my God! There's a massive series. They did Lord of the Rings and Warhammer and 14. A Total War. Total War. It's kind of like
Oh, okay.
it's kind of like Total War, just a little different. But I guess there was early access for that. In 2004, it had a public alpha. Did they charge for it?
Don't know. I had never heard of that game until even
Let's see.
Mountain Blade 2 exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I see it like on sale every other day.
Yeah, it's constantly on sale, dude.
So I guess while Josh is looking that up, I want to pose a bit of a question. I remember a while back, I think Xbox was in talks about also doing early access. And I see you roll your eyes there, Aaron.
Yeah.
I guess just like early access to console, like is that something that should just stick to being PC? Should it come to console? Like,
You know,
because I know consoles kind of operate on a different
Yeah.
whatever, when it comes to like pricing and stuff like that.
I mean, we're kind of already getting early access because of day one updates. I mean,
I
it's
guess
just-
that is fair.
but I mean, honestly, had you asked me this in 2013 when they first came out, I was like, "Oh, that's a cool idea. Yeah, console would be great." Now, no. God, no.
Fair.
Because AAA companies would just abuse the crap out of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Imagine they put pressure on the developers, man, to be like, just put something together, man, so we can make some money.
Just you saying that, EA and Ubisoft are like,
I can
that was-
hear the greedy laughter.
Yeah. Oh God, EA getting their hands on something like that is just the most terrifying thing to think about, because
Wasn't
if
it?
EA could, and this is not a slight against this company, but just how the model works.
Yeah, it is.
If EA could, they would release everything like a Telltale game.
Oh,
where every chapter packs $10 to $15.
Yeah. Oh,
If
absolutely.
EA made Resident Evil 4, it's 16 chapters, $10 per chapter. It's $160 game.
I guess that's kind of what Revelations 2 is, if you think about it.
Lee, you were
Yeah,
about to
Revelation
say.
Molyneux.
It
Lee-
released in chapters, but you could wait and buy the whole thing for like $30.
Yeah, that's
when it
fair. That's
finished.
fair.
Lee, you were about to say something a second ago.
Peter Molyneux is actually wasn't he president of EA for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
It's Mr. Sell You the World, and
Yeah.
you know.
So
got all
that
these
was.
promises.
So we've said DLC a couple times. I don't think we ever actually came out and said what DLC is. What does DLC mean?
Downloadable content.
Okay, what's an example of DLC?
The
Uh,
Force Armor
the-
from Oblivion. The first DLC.
Expansions for things like the newest WoW expansion.
So
That would count as DLC.
I think an argument can be made there, but yeah. Sure.
I
Stuff
feel like
that adds
DLC and
on
expansion-
stuff that adds on to the
It's a-
game you're playing, right?
It's
Game
story
add-on.
expansions, skins, like it doesn't matter like the size of it, really.
So
But
if
then you
we're
also get into like currency. Is currency downloadable content? Because a lot of games have currency that you can buy for them.
Well, downloadable content like that's like microtransactions is a side part to DLC.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
entirely. Technically, it is downloadable content.
I mean,
It's not
there's
good content, but it's
there is
technically
free-
content.
There's free
there's free DLC, but that's my question.
Yeah.
So my question came up, and why I wanted to define DLC for anybody listening that may not know that. We try not to use acronyms on the show and not say what they are. If we ever do, and you hear it and you have a question, you'll comment something, we will answer. Come into the Discord, ask us. Let us call us out on that, please. We want the
Wings and pizza.
definition to be like wings and pizza, WAP, which we often use constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that? Wings and pizza. Bring a bucket and a mop for the wings and pizza. Do a
Hydrated
spoken
cats.
word version of fully hydrated cat.
I am not
Anyway.
editing that.
Damn. What I was asking with DLC, because back in the day, you got a cartridge. If I bought Mario, it was Mario. I wasn't getting an NES add-on that I would stick in. It would update my Mario thing with new levels and all of this. Like, are expansions an example of these unfinished games? Like, the one that comes to mind for me is Legends ZA. Pokemon Legends ZA that just released late last year had a DLC, Mega Dimension, that came out for it. And that DLC is, in my opinion, the worst DLC Pokemon has ever put out.
Oh.
It is so bare bones. It barely adds any. It adds a bunch of new Pokemon and new Mega Evolutions. That's great, but the environments you're chasing them down in, the mechanics it adds in, are like fairly bare bones. It's still kind of the same world, or it's the same town, because the game takes place in the singular town of Lumio City. And the original game, like Pokemon Z8, that was fine. That was good for its price. It was great. The DLC's $30, and I don't think it's $30 worth of content. I don't think it's worth it. I think had it been a free DLC, would have been great. Fantastic. But for $30, no. Absolutely not. And it feels like sometimes we will get things as DLC for games that honestly should have been part of the release of the game. Can you guys think of an example of that?
I had something in my head and I forgot.
Well, actually, off the top of my head, the first thing I can think of is Mass Effect 3.
Okay.
So Mass Effect 3, I remember there being such a big backlash because they actually had a DLC character that you could get if you pre-ordered the game specifically, and then later they released it. They later released it for a purchase, something you could purchase, but it was a vital part of the story. Like, it wasn't necessary to have it, but so spoilers for Mass Effect 3.
We'll be fine.
A
20-year-old
I don't know.
game or 10, 15-year-old game, however old it is.
10 or 15-year-old game. But So there's this the whole time they have these Reapers.
24 or 10 or 14-year-old game.
14-year-old game.
Yeah.
Okay. They have these Reapers coming, and supposedly there was this ancient, this old alien civilization that the Reapers wiped out. Well, the DLC character was part of that race of that the Reapers wiped out originally, and everybody was like, "This is vital stuff," and they made it DLC, and everybody was really upset about it.
I believe his name was Javik. He was part of the Promethean race.
Promethean, thank you.
Yep.
It's been a while. I couldn't tell you.
I am familiar with that character not because I've played through Mass Effect 3, but because he has one of the coldest quotes that I have heard. I'm going to butcher it because this isn't exact, but it's basically like, what is it? He essentially says something along the lines of like, stand in the ashes of those who have warred against you. Their silence is your answer. It's a complete butchering of it, but it's just this idea of just like, stand in the nothingness. There's your answer. Like anything that you're asking about what you've done, let the silence be your answer.
I just remember that was a big thing because in the game, you would find all these mysteries, and the guys would be like, "Oh, this part of this ancient civilization." But if you add him, he'd be like, "Oh, here's the answer to that," and people were really upset about it.
Y'all ever played or heard of a game called Asura's Wrath?
Yeah, absolutely. For the PlayStation 3, had a little bit of
Yes.
DLC, right? Never got a re-release. Shane's tore up about it.
Me too. No, I love that game. But to bring up its DLC in kind of the same vein, the true ending was locked behind DLC.
Final Fantasy 15.
Oh wow!
You couldn't actually see the true ending unless you bought that DLC.
Yeah, see that is scummy.
Final Fantasy 15 was the same way.
Like, and yet people do it. So I was looking up some like really scummy examples of essentially like pump and dump schemes for these games. Ashes of Creation was one we talked about at the beginning, where it's, oh, give us money, we're going to do this big amazing thing, and then they way overpromise, can't deliver it. They get a crap ton of money, and then they release a barely play, like it is barely playable in the state they put out, like not even remotely close to anything that was promised. Like we have torn to shreds on this episode a couple games that make Ashes of Creation, or that Ashes of Creation makes them look like the most polished, amazing thing that has ever been released by anybody in the history of man. Right. But we've talked about on past episodes shovelware and vaporware. Right? Shovelware is just trying to capitalize on something really quick. I think you see a lot of stuff released as early access that is shovelware, like just trying to get something out in the bare minimum state, call it early access, make some money off of it, do a little bit here or there, and then just let it die.
I mean, how many Lethal Company clones were there?
Yeah,
gosh.
We've played a lot of them. You know, and I'll be honest with you, man, if they're like $2 and $3, I don't care. Like I get a couple hours of playtime with you guys or my kids, and that's cool to me. That's worth $3 just to play a little game like that. That's cool. But it's when they come out and they're like $30. So one of the examples I was looking at is Earth, year 2066. That was apparently it was $20. It got pulled off of Steam. So it was 12 years ago, got pulled off of Steam by Valve because it was just a scam. It was a like bare minimum proof of concept demo that was released. Guy kept taking money for it and was not delivering anything.
Wow.
For it. Yeah. And it was like $20 for what essentially amounted to a few minutes to an hour of gameplay or something. Is my understanding of this.
For $20?
Yeah. And under the guise of, dude, you got to buy it. It's going to get so much better. Here's what we're going to do with this. Here's what we're going to go for it.
I like to spend money, and I wouldn't even spend money on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we talked about the DLCs. If DLC is this kind of is part of this early access culture, if games are now being purposefully cut up in a game that would, you've all seen the meme, right, of the game back in the day, and it's a picture of a burger, and then game now, and it's the bun, and then a DLC for $10, and then like the day one patch is the lettuce or something. I mean, do we feel like there's truth to that? Like, is that something like that is obviously a hyperbole to an extent, but I mean, is there truth to that? Like, do we feel like gaming companies are purposefully withholding content that would typically be in a game to release it as DLC?
That's the extreme, but there are actual cases of that. Capcom being one of the offenders. Resident Evil 6 specifically, the game disc released, and people data mined it and found out that the DLC was already on the disc, but you had to pay to unlock it.
The Mass Effect 3, that was the whole thing with it was already on the disc, but you had to unlock it.
Yeah, which is how a lot of games just shipped back in those days. Like everything would go on the disc, and then you're paying $30 for an unlock key. Like.
Well, that was like
if
Legends Z8,
there,
man. It was Legends Z8 when the day you could pre-order the DLC the day the game released.
I remember that. I think you and I talked about this.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Now that's because they talked about ZA being stuck in development for a little bit, and but okay, then put your DLC in your game. Like I don't know. That feels scummy to me. Maybe I'm being an entitled like gamer, and I don't want to spend that money, and I should pay developers what they're worth for. But it's also a shit DLC. Like, it's not Isle of Armor, for Sword and Shield. Like Isle of Armor and were amazing.
Well, I mean,
look at the modern day season pass, right? Like, and at least some companies have done some things in the past with that it makes the pill a little easier to swallow. Where I've seen some companies where it's like, hey, we're going to go ahead and put this season pass out, and it's going to be $15 on release. After the next, or after that first DLC releases, well, that season pass is going to go up in price, and it's going to go up until it hits a set whatever. Usually the highest you'll see a season pass is $60. But it's like once all the DLC is released, then it's the season pass will be at like full price or whatever. So at least I can stomach that of being like, sure, I'll throw $15 in, and it guarantees that I get all this DLC for almost for free. I'm paying a substantially less price for it. But yeah, I mean, like, the season pass is kind of also that idea of you're pre-ordering the DLC. It's just like, here, throw my $15 in. Sure, I get it for cheaper, but like now I gotta hope they release all that DLC.
Yeah, the season passes are a whole other thing. Sorry, Cody, you keep getting cut off. What is it?
No, I was just going to say there was such backlash on the Resident Evil with the DLC already being on the disc that they have not done that since.
Well, that's good.
But I mean,
good.
Yeah.
But I mean, 6 was so bad it almost killed Resident Evil. So
yeah, it's the worst rated, isn't it, out of all of them?
Yeah, you start getting greedy. Like we as gamers, the only way we can vote for this stuff or let companies know is to vote with our wallets. I want to buy that Pokemon Legends DLC, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to buy it. It is nothing. Like or the Legends EA DLC, I'm not going to buy it because it is not worth it to me. I think
feel
it
like
is bare minimum.
I do feel like the DLC in and of itself should be like a whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you're talking about voting with your pockets, dude. That's really like that is the power we have. So, because it's like the reasons they do scummy things is for money. And the way we retaliate is with money or lack of money or whatever. So, it's like as an example, Castlevania, dude. They mentioned Castlevania, and it's like. Because Konami's done so much crap with Castlevania lately, that's been all the nothing but like the no games, basically just the pachinko is what it is, the plinko games, whatever.
Yeah.
There's a Castlevania Plinko game.
Pachinko.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Pachinko.
Pachinko.
What is
That's all
pachinko?
Konami was doing. It's Japanese gambling. The things that have like the pegs in it, and you drop a disc at the top, and it kind of bounces around, and
It's
then goes
Plinko.
into
It's Plinko. It's the same damn. Okay,
yeah, it's Pachinko.
Yep.
I think.
Price
It's
is Right.
Pachinko.
Pachinko.
Yeah,
It's
but-
Plinko if it were inside of a pinball machine.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Konami was
Someone
doing
else
that with
making
all of their stuff rather than making games for a while.
Yep. And so
Go
now
on,
it's like with them doing some stuff with whatever Castlevania, it's like that is the time you vote. Like I will buy this Castlevania game. If it gets a 3 out of 10, I'll probably buy that thing. I don't like, give me more,
All right.
Yeah.
I would
Go ahead.
like, so we're nearing the end of the episode. I would like us to end on some positive notes, though, because we've talked a lot of crap about early access in this. So I would like us to talk about some. We've talked about a few early access games we've enjoyed, and we thought they've done it there. But
Yes.
what is an early access game that you have? We've all got our Steam libraries opened up. Right, and you said we could search. How do we search our early access? What was the way I did that? Hit that
in
little
your-
thing,
Hit the 3 lines
and then store
next to the search
tag
bar,
and early
and
access.
then- Yep.
There we go. All right. So my game I want to give props to is Ape War. No.
Ape War?
No, it's
Yeah.
awful. It's so
Oh,
bad.
okay.
It is
No.
absolutely just shovelware, vaporware. So the
Okay.
shovelware,
It's one of
vaporware.
those achievement games. Like, 'cause, I mean, you turn it on, you get all the achievements in it.
Yeah. So shovelware and vaporware for what we talked about. Shovelware is I'm gonna pump out a game. Really, it's what Pal World was accused of being. It's what Pikmin we just looked at earlier today.
Our
is
world
Look at
was
the
going-
accused of being shovelware.
Just
Oh,
look
yeah.
at like
Oh,
just look
yeah.
like 80% of the
Wow.
Wii's library, and you got shovelware.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna
And
say.
then
The Wii and the
vaporware,
DS.
and then vaporware is something that gets promised and sold and is not what it is. So like Ashes of Creation is vaporware. They're blowing smoke up your ass, right? They're just trying to get your money. They're taking your money and running. Both of them essentially do the same thing. So who wants to go first? What is your early access game you want to give props to?
Well, I can go. Satisfactory. I've already talked about it, but I mean, it's the one that I've got the most time in. That's early access. I think I got it on a humble bundle, so I didn't even pay
Yeah.
the $10 or $15 for it. And honestly, I didn't even buy the humble bundle for it. I don't remember what a humble
I
bundle. for.
stole this game.
No,
I stole it. Just hands up.
Really check.
I bought the humble bundle for a different game that was in it, and then that one came with it, and I ended up liking Satisfactory better.
Okay.
And I mean, so I paid what, like $10, $15 for a humble bundle, and I've got 400 hours in Satisfactory. So
Nice. And dude, the stuff you can do in Satisfactory to me seems like a full game. I don't understand why it's still in that early access.
it's not. It's full release. It's hit
So it's
1.1. Yeah.
Is it? Because I typed in early access and on my library, Satisfactory's on there.
It still has the early access tag, but they have hit full release. And if you go to the store page, it says release date September 10th, 2024. Early access release date was June 8th, 2020.
Okay.
So
I was
it's
gonna say it was
actually,
at the end of 2024 when they actually released the full game.
yeah, honestly, it shouldn't have the early access tag anymore because it's not. But
Who else
for the
has
5
one?
years or the 4 years it was in early access, it was really good.
Who else has one?
I mean, for me, it's Repo. We've talked about Repo before. I love everything about that game. Like the whole friend swap idea is, I hate that name, but I just love that style of game because there's no commitment to those games. It's get in, play for a little bit with your friends, get out. And you can move on with that your day. And it's a fun game, you know? I mean, like it's definitely a clone. You know, you look to Lethal Company that kind of sparked all of this.
Was Lethal
And
Company the first one of those type things?
I think Lethal Company was
if it
the
wasn't
biggest.
the first, yeah, it was definitely the biggest.
It may be the first, but I like Repo better.
Yeah. Oh, and you've seen games come out of it, like, Lethal Company kind of started it, and then you've got games like Repo that also, in a way, that gave us Peak, and Peak's another one of those games that I greatly enjoy. It's just a get in, have some goofs as your friends, get out kind of game. There's stuff to it. I don't know if anybody's kept up with game theory, but game theory's like there's lore.
Yeah.
For
But you
Pete,
don't have
who cares?
Yeah.
Technically,
Who
yes.
Right,
cares?
exactly. It's like it's there, but who cares? It's like just running around as little robots, blowing up
Yeah.
in front of your friends because you've
You done something stupid.
unknowingly
Yeah.
incurred the wrath of the huntsman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we have games like Burgling Gnomes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing with like Repo for me is one, they're still iterating on it. Like they could tell. Again, Repo to me, if they said it's released, this is it. Now we're going to release new stuff for it. We're going to update, but this is it. Like this is the game. It feels like a full game. Like I'm not going in
Yeah.
there, and it feels like there's assets missing. Like I paid $6, like full price on Steam for Repo is $10. I paid $6 for it when I got it. I got it for a couple
I think I
people.
paid
Got it for my
$6.
son. Like it was fine for $6. I got $6 out of that game night one. We've played it dozens upon dozens of times.
Yeah.
Since then.
Yeah.
Like it. That's fine. That's great. That's fine. And it being early access, I think the early access tag does it a disservice, right? But it feels like the developers are treating it like true early access. Like, hey, we want you to buy into this, and we're going to keep updating, keep putting good stuff into it, and we're going to try to make this really, really good. Aaron, you got anything? Or Lee?
Go ahead, Lee. You have anything?
Okay. I had to actually look up some stuff. It was like, what is early access? Like, what has been popular has that was in early access? Because a lot of my library is not early access on Steam. I had like 5 games, and I was like, I haven't played most of these. But apparently, Dead Cells started as early access.
Yeah.
And Dead Cells is a banger of a game. Like, absolutely. And love that game, and it had a Castlevania crossover. So
I didn't play Dead Cells.
Yeah, but it's good, man. It's very solid. That's not typically my kind of game either, like a roguelike sort of stuff. But it's so incredibly enjoyable. So that would probably be mine, I guess. Out of all the games that I was looking at that were listed as early access, that one was great.
What is
I mean, Minecraft, but
what made Dead Cells great? What?
Oh, it's an action RPG roguelike game. And it's just, I don't know. I love the art style of it. The humor was good. It's
That's
just the roguelike
Metroidvania.
sort of stuff. Yeah, it's got a lot of cool stuff going on. It's just addictive combat. You make it a little further, die. Do it again.
Do you guys think the roguelike or roguelite style of game kind of lends itself to that early access model a little more than other stuff?
100%.
Probably, yeah.
Why?
I have this theory, just a small tangent. I have this theory that any game franchise can be turned into a Dynasty Warriors game, and yes, I will argue that. I also argue that anything can be turned into a roguelite.
Yeah.
But the part of the reason why I think that is because the thing with roguelites is that you're not really going to have the same run twice. I mean, many hours down the road, you may have something that really gets similar, but it's never going to be this exact thing. And that's the fun of the roguelite, is that every time you boot one up and you start doing runs, something's going to change. Like, you're going to have to develop new strategies and do this kind of stuff. For roguelites, I think that's super interesting, because in that context of looking at it as a live beta where you can give feedback instantaneously to the developer, if one player is doing a run and they notice, oh, this item is, doing way more damage than it should, the developer can go to fix that. But also taking ideas from the community, it's that collaboration bit. It's not a super huge thing, I feel, but it is definitely there, where these developers are taking community ideas and they're evolving them and they're adding them in. And also just looking at it from the players are like, oh, wouldn't it be funny? A roguelite that I've been playing here just recently, it's called Ball Pit. And it's like Breakout meets Space Invaders meets Pachinko. If you look it up, it is Ball X Pit. I hate the naming convention of putting X instead of a space.
I'm going to try to go through the episode and put links to all the games we talk about. Sometimes I'm not great at that, and there's been a lot, children.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have a link to that study that was on the study on Reddit where it was compiling all that, and so there will be in the show notes for this episode. Check the description if you're interested in these games we're talking about.
But, just to say, like, oh, wouldn't it, somebody maybe posts, like, wouldn't it be funny if these two things could fuse together and, create this new item and things like that. And I think there's a lot of good feedback that can come from stuff like that. And I think it's just that I don't want to say that developing a roguelite is easy. No, nothing in game development is easy.
It's mindless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
You heard it here.
it's an overall easy formula that you can put into a game.
I think the big thing is roguelikes are ever evolving. Your playthrough. So whenever you're doing early access, your game's supposed to be evolving anyway.
Mhm.
So like it just feels like that formula kind of matches the.
It's just easier to be.
Style.
It has a modularity to
Yeah.
it, and it's easier to
Yeah.
iterate
Yeah.
on, right? Because it has this kind of changing, dynamically updating path you're going through. So it's really easy to iterate on that and add in additions and pull through, I think.
Yeah.
Aaron, what do you got? What's your early access favorite?
So I've got 3 I'm going to run through real quick. 3
Okay.
different
Aaron's
stages.
in his 46 early access games he's
Yeah.
got.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my scrolls.
Femboy Fuda House is number 1, Aaron. Tell us about Femboy Fuda House.
Absolutely. So first one I'll talk about is Deep Rock Galactic. It was in
Oh,
early access, and it's
yeah.
no longer in early
Yeah.
access. It's released as a full game now.
Yeah.
Love that. Because speaking of roguelikes,
Apparently, Coffee Stain's just good at early access.
Yeah.
Because they done it in Satisfactory.
Well, I mean,
so it's a really
they
good
deliver
one
on what they
that I
promise. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Phasmophobia is still in early access, and I really enjoy that game. I love the horror aspect, going in, having a lot of fun with that. It's one of those party slop games that we can just run in real quick and have a fun time with. And then there's one that will be coming to early access that I really enjoy called Far Far West, where you played cowboy robots hunting down undead bounties, and it was really cool, and I really enjoyed that one. So
Now that
We
one's
know when
not in
that hits
early.
early access.
not yet. They are planning early
Yeah.
access release.
That
but
one's
it's
not in
out.
early access yet, so it still has a chance to disappoint us.
Yeah.
It could still be awful. It still has a
They've had
chance to
3.
be bad.
Yeah, they've had 3 different demo weekends.
Yeah.
And I've jumped in every one. I joined their Discord just so I can know when the free weekends are, and I try to play every chance I get.
Awesome. What do you guys want to see out of an early, like what makes you? We've talked about. We kind of hit on this throughout the conversation, but didn't actually like come out and say, what do we want to see? What is the like poster child for good guy early access developer to us? What do we want from our early access games? Like what makes you feel good? So we just named a bunch of games that we really feel good about. What made us feel good about those games? Why?
Well, for Satisfactory, it was regular developer updates. It wasn't really monthly, but they had a regular update schedule, or would at least release a video, be like, "Hey, this is what we're working on currently. This is what you can expect to come out in the next update, and this is when we plan on doing it."
Yeah.
And usually whenever they do that, they would release even in early access, they would release a beta version of that to make sure it would function, and then release the full version for everybody to play. And so you could opt in to play the beta because it's like, hey, it might break the game. and back up your save files. But they were at
I
least
feel
open and honest about what they were doing as they were doing it.
I feel like ultimately we just want steady updates, and a developer that listens to the players are the big
Ag-
things.
AgroCrab, the developers of Peak, are one of, if not my favorite, for stuff like that, because they utilize it in their social media. Every time that I see an update about Peak from them, it's their like lead dev or whoever it is, but they'll pop in there and they're like, hey cadets, here's what we've got going on, like the behind the scenes in Peak. And some of it isn't even necessarily about the game. It's just them being like, we've been going through this, so like, we've not been able to spend as much time. And I think it really does just boil down to like, I love the transparency. I love that they're not afraid to just be like, here's what's been going on in our lives. Like, sorry, we've been radio silent, but we've been going through some stuff. We will get stuff out to you as we can, but please understand we're human too.
Yeah, I actually like that sort of stuff too. It's like I feel a connection to creators when they do that. I feel like I'm
Yep.
part of the process. Like I'm investing in that person, not just in a game.
Coffee Stain was really good at that.
Yeah, all of those sound like kind of the same thing, and I'm right on that board. I want transparency. I don't really necessarily need like super regular updates. I want transparency. I want communication. I want to feel like you are excited about this game because I bought it because it seemed neat, and if I enjoy it and I'm looking for updates, then I'm excited about it too. Like I want to know that the developer is excited about their own game.
Yeah.
Good community interaction, transparency, and updates are the main thing that I like to see. And if that's the sign of a healthy early access title, and a clear idea of when we launch.
Yeah.
Right, of when a 1.0 comes out. In Power World, you're on thin ice. You're on thin ice, buddy.
Say, Satisfactory never really gave us a clear idea, but it was whenever they finally seen it, they came out and was like, "Hey, this is when we're expecting it."
Now,
But
I think people
just
can
give
be
me
a
a
little
roadmap.
more. Sorry, go ahead, Travis. A
I
roadmap.
was just gonna say, just give me a roadmap.
I
Give me a roadmap. It doesn't have to be super big and expansive. Just give me a roadmap.
I think the more that these the more they're actually updating, so the more they're iterating and pushing updates, can ease that pain of, well, when the hell's the full release? Because I mean, we keep getting new stuff. I paid $6 for Repo. There's been all kinds of new things added to it. Paid, I don't know what, $5 for Peak, $7 for. I think $7 for Peak is what AgroCrab said. They felt like $7 was a good price point or something. They had like an excuse for why they did $7. I don't remember what it was. It was funny though. But $7 for that, sure. Why? I mean,
Yeah.
some McDouble meal or something. Now, in a few years, it's going to be $107 for McDouble, but whatever. For right now, we're not a political podcast. But yeah, so I think we're all in agreement here. Early access is neither an amazing or a bad thing. It can be good or bad depending upon who is wielding it. It is a tool in a developer's tool belt, just like everything else. And it is, whether we like it or not, it seems like it's here to stay. Would we agree? This early access culture.
Yeah, no option around that. No way around that.
Yeah. Just vote with your wallets, guys. Make sure you're liking, reviewing, all that good stuff. Speaking of liking, reviewing, voting with your wallets, and telling people how you feel about things, you can do that with us. Lee, if the people wanted to tell you how they feel about you, where could they do that at?
You can jump on stream Wednesdays and Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube or Twitch at Pixel Broly, or check out my YouTube channel at Pixel Broly.
All right. Cody, where can people find you?
Currently just on the Discord. I've not really had time to do the streaming. I've been busy. So
Aaron and Travis?
found me in the Discord being stupid.
Aaron and Travis, where can the good people find you?
You go first, Aaron.
You can find me in the Discord as usual, on Facebook when I can, and probably doing my best to download DLC for real life.
You can find me at the gaming company. Please come up and assert your opinion towards me while I'm knee deep in work. Please, absolutely, that's what I want.
I'll do that.
Do it. If you go up, do you know how amazing Travis would feel if someone went up and go, "Hey, I heard you on the Hills Have Nerds. Here's what I think about that dog water take you had on the last episode." It'd be fantastic.
That take was absolutely terrible, but I really need to tell you about my hydrated cat.
Yeah. I'll show you my fully hydrated cat. We'd never see Travis again.
Hey, you're
I know that Cody's cat is fully hydrated, but how is yours, Travis?
All right. You want to tell us about your tell us about your experience with early access games, with DLCs, with unfinished games. You had a great experience, you have a bad experience. How do you feel about it? Come tell us about your fully hydrated cat. You can email us at hillshavenerds@gmail.com. That's hillshavenerds@gmail.com. There is no the. Come on our Facebook. We do all kinds of, we post what we're up to. I do friendly local game store shout outs from here around Appalachia. We share all kinds of cool stuff over on the Facebook. And then come inside our Discord. We're having all kinds of conversations about gaming, board games, Marvel Champions, video games, Pokemon, Palmons, all the Mons, Digimons, every Mon you can think of, and everything else under the sun we talk about in the Discord. Come to the holler, sit a spell with us, and talk. If you liked the podcast, guys, the best thing you can do for us is tell somebody about it. Leave a like, leave a share, give us a review on whatever platform you listen to. That is word of mouth is our strongest ally, and we would greatly appreciate if you could preach the word of nerd to the people you're talking to if you're having these nerdy conversations yourself. But if you feel so moved, we have a Ko-Fi. The link is in the description below. You can donate to the podcast. You can join the kinfolk there. You can get all kinds of little rewards, monthly things, including shout outs here on the podcast itself. We're going to do some shout outs now to Brittany Johnston and Nick Rosa. Thank you so much for supporting the Hills Have Nerds. We love you guys. You are our kin. We also are partnered with Mystic Teas, aren't we, Aaron?
Hey, if you want to help
Mystic
support,
Stitches.
Mystic Stitches. If you want to support a poor old man trying to make a living in the world, and you like funny, goofy T-shirts, check out Mystic Stitches. You about got me
Mystic
saying
what?
MysticStitches.com. We also sell Hills Have Nerds merch. And
Also, Travis has that on his. He's playing that on Steam the other night.
Mystic Stitches. Yeah. But yeah, check out mysticstitches.com. That's going to be linked to in the show notes as well. If you want to get some Hills Have Nerds swag, you want to support the boys here in the Hills. Helps us make every dime we make for the podcast goes back in making the podcast that much better. And we're getting there. We appreciate everyone, all of our listeners so much. Thank you guys very, very much. Be on the lookout for the DLC for the next episode of the Hills Have Nerds. Going to be released in 5 parts over the next 6 years for $20 a piece. Coming to you soon. Thank you very much. Have a great night.
EA.
Dude, who's going to fit that in?